I'm Dick Guidard. I'm reminding you, if you share your love with a dog, you'll never regret it. There's really nothing like a dog to spark up your life, whether you're a youngster, a senior citizen, or somewhere in between. Give the Lorain County Dog Kennel a call or check their website for photos of currently available dogs. Your best friend is waiting for you.
Welcome to another broadcast of the Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Thursday mornings at 9:30 at the Lorain County Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings, and as always, you are invited to attend.
Would you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. No, they're wrong. They're very good. They're wrong. Jim, our flags are wrong.
We're saluting the wrong flag.
Yes, they are.
Thank you.
Please. Oh, Lassie.
Lassie. Yeah. Here, girl.
Sit down.
It's a boy.
Can you turn around? Sit down. Don't look at Teresa's not going to take you home. You want to look out this way. Someone out here might want to take you home. Sit.
Oh, good. Oh, look. Look at it. Good
This is a
boy.
collie, 2 years old, male, found in the Elyria Township area, and he's looking for a home. Now, how can you resist a face like that? Where's our dog ward? Jack, how do we do on the open house at the dog kennel? We had 11 dogs available for adoption.
4 adoptions on that day.
4 adoptions. So we're still doing very well. We invite you to visit our dog kennel. Closed on Monday. Hours vary on the rest of the days, and this dog will be available when?
So it will be available on Tuesday.
On Tuesday. Okay? Lassie, come home. Welcome to the July 28th meeting of the Lorain County Board of Commissioners. Are you misbehaving, Mr. Caleb?
No, my name tag was down.
All right, thank you.
I didn't want to get confused with Betty or Lori, so I put it back up.
Good. We want you to know who you are. A thought for the day from Lise Day from Big Brothers and Big Sisters, class of 97. If you don't love your work, you aren't doing it right. Madam Clerk?
At 11 o'clock, there will be an IAC meeting. At 10:15, there will be a public hearing on the first building code amendments. Under resolutions, job and family services bills.
I'll move.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Investments.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Appropriations.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Transfers.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
There are no advances or repayments. Requisitions.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Travel expenses.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Bills.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Under the Commissioners, authorize various personnel actions indicated on the summary sheet for employees within the jurisdiction of Lorain County Board of Commissioners.
Mr. Cortez?
Thank you, Commissioner. I will request a brief executive session to discuss a potential new hire and also to bring you up to date on some pending litigation that I attended on behalf of the board. last week, and I believe Mr. Flanagan will be joining us for that discussion also. Shouldn't take too long.
Thank you.
Authorized payment of $999 to Fortuna Funeral Home for services rendered in connection with veteran Paul Turner. Mr. Turner was found to be indigent, and payment is therefore necessary in accordance with Lorain County Veterans Commission and Ohio Revised Code 5901.26.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Authorize and commence the execution phase of the Energy Conservation Project and Johnson Controls. This is for all work and services required to improve the building's environment and reduce operation costs to buildings owned by the county, such as Administration Building, Community Development, Gates Building, Board of Elections, TV Clinic, Health Department, Juvenile Detention, Engineers Building, Garage, Agricultural Center, County Jail Facility, and Golden Acres Nursing Home. And for all projects to be funded through the Energy Operational and Capital Cost Avoidance Savings Guaranteed by Johnson Controls. This is in the amount not to exceed $3,774,861. And Johnson Controls, Inc. has granted project savings benefits for this project in the amount of $3,966,060.
There's a difference of $191,199 with those two figures, and I'm sure you'd like to explain to us how we're going to benefit.
If I didn't, you'd make me anyway, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Commissioners, we've been working on this project for some time. First of all, the projected savings should exceed the expenditures, and that's good for us, because if you look at the total cost of doing all the work, it'll be, roughly $3.8 million, and we'll recover almost $4 million. So that's good. I would have settled for just strictly break even on the 10-year issue. How this works is the projects have to pay for themselves through cost savings over a period of 10 years. So every project that we do under this package has a recovery period. Some are shorter, some are longer, but in the aggregate, it's supposed to guarantee that we recover all of out-of-pocket costs. Now, we've done extensive negotiations, and with the help of Mr. Ennis, with the company, and Karen Davis has worked diligently on this, and Mr. Sharver, recently since he's come aboard, has been a prime player with this also, to try to make sure that we have the right mechanisms in place to manage the cost, verify the savings, and make sure that it covers the debt service on these improvements. It's a very comprehensive project. The other appealing aspect of this is under House Bill 300 energy conservation bonds. It doesn't count against our GEO capacity, so we do not have to tie up any additional GEO. As you heard me speak last week on Mr. Carney's bond, I was concerned about how much debt we'd be issuing. Now, while this debt has to be rated, and I've talked to our underwriters for several hours on this, we're comfortable that they'll see it as what it is, as a bond that has the ability to pay for itself and won't require any additional tax revenues or non-tax source revenues of the county to make the debt service. And we're still going to have to work as if we were rating a regular bond, but this one's a little bit more appealing. And that was another reason why we wanted to be in notes with Mr. Carney's program and go to market possibly next year, because we knew this was coming down the track. We've been working on this for well over a year. As these programs go, this is pretty good. The City of Lorain is doing it. Cuyahoga County has done it. I'm comfortable that the company is a good company to deal with on these issues, but it's going to take a strong, steady hand by Ms. Davis and Mr. Sharver to make sure that we control costs within these numbers. And I think Johnson Controls is finding us a little bit difficult to work with, as always everybody does. But we have our finger on the pulse of this, and we're going to watch these costs. And I'm hoping, actually, to be honest with you, that we can drive some of these costs even further down through our keen observation and intervention, and making sure that we get the little bit of value-added plus for us on these expenditures. And if Mr. Sharver or Ms. Davis has anything to add to what I said, I would encourage you to speak up. Don't all jump up. Just a ball of excitement this morning. Huh? Okay. Any questions, Commissioner? Any additional questions?
No, just when I was going over the cost savings on it also was the additional benefit, especially to the city of Elyria, $30,000 to $40,000 in income tax also, based on the people who are working here, so.
Absolutely, that brings work into Elyria. It's additional revenue for Elyria. I certainly wish it was additional revenue also for the city of Lorain, but there is a bonus for the whole county also, and one issue I forgot. House Bill 300 trumps bidding law. Under House Bill 300, we are not required to prepare the detailed bid specs, to go out and take sealed bids and go through a lengthy, over months project, reject bids, accept bids. So we don't have to do that. It supersedes and trumps the bidding requirements, and we believe that Johnson Controls, we're pressuring them right now. We're going to have, most of this is going to be done with local vendors and local contractors, and we'll also be looking at that and making recommendations to Johnson Controls of the people that we've partnered with here locally. We're going to make sure that the maximum amount of dollars that can be applied locally, like we did with the Justice Center, gets applied through this program to our home companies, for lack of another term. And additionally, Johnson Controls is a signatory, so all the work will be union work. Okay, any of the companies that want to work, even locally, they have to be a union shop. Johnson Controls, as a signatory, is obligated to the trades to only deal with unionized labor workforce. Some people don't find that encouraging. Some people do. We've had a commitment on both those fronts, and I'm glad that we're able to continue to support local companies and support the workforce here in Lorain County.
Questions, Commissioners? I want to commend you and your staff that have worked on this. It's been a lengthy process, and we're looking forward to getting this building done especially so that we can finish your remodeling project. I'll move for approval.
Second.
Any further discussion? Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Provide for the issuance and sale of bonds in a maximum principal amount not to exceed $3,990,000 for the purposes of paying costs for certain energy conservation facility improvements within the county of Lorain and the issuance of bonds.
I guess this goes with 11, right?
It does, and obviously there's the cost of doing the issue, and that was some of the savings that we saved on the other end we push out, but it needs to be done. Obviously, we got to pay people to get to the market.
Also move.
Second.
Any further discussion? Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Receive and journalize the proposed expedited 2 annexation of approximately 227.810 acres in Wellington Township to the Village of Wellington. Attorney Stephen Bond is the agent. There is no hearing required, but all documents should be received within 45 days. Therefore, the board will grant the annexation no later than September 1st, which is the 45th day. And if you remember, this is the same annexation that was received before.
Thank you for pointing that out, Teresa. Jerry, do you have any comments for the board on this matter?
Just that this is a resubmission. Actually, it's a little bit different because they did go forward with the one parcel, I believe.
Yes.
So this is the 2 remaining parcels. And it's similar to the last procedure. We wait and see if there's an objection from the township. And that determines how extensive the further proceedings will be. So that's kind of where we are right now.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Do we need to do anything?
Yes.
Oh, we need a motion to receive and journalize it only. I'll so move.
Second.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Any discussion?
I wonder why she was looking at me like that. I needed to do something.
Well,
Lori?
my view is not happy with this, that they're coming back with it again. I still believe that the amount of land that they want to annex is too large. And I have a feeling we'll get all those emails and phone calls again like we did in the first annexation.
A point well noted.
Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Continue the annexation hearing from August 1st at 9:30 a.m. until September 12th at 9:30 a.m. for 226.13 acres from Carlisle Township to the City of Elyria. Attorney James N. Taylor is the agent. I don't know what I have after that.
Commissioners, if I may, I received contact from both the counsel for the petitioners and counsel for the township indicating that it is their desire to continue the hearing from August 1st, and the September 12th and 13th dates were available for both of them. I've asked them to submit written confirmation of that so that we have that on record. It will still be necessary for us to have the clerk or someone here to greet anybody that comes on August 1st and have a sign posted so that anyone that comes can be made aware of when that hearing is. We do not intend to republish this notice. It is just a continuance of the current hearing.
Questions, Commissioners? I'll move for continuance.
Second.
Any further discussion? Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Authorize the 30-day written cancellation notice effective August 1st, 2005 with Humphrey and Cavana Insurance, Inc., Elyria, and enter into contract with Robert Taylor, Elyria, effective September 1st as the county's local insurance agent for Corsa.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Under the Community Development Department, disperse coastal erosion loan funds in the amount of $28,313.80 to the Ohio Water Development Authority for the purpose of paying off the coastal erosion loan made to Paul Fortner in the original amount of $324,701.02 by Resolution Number 01-1121 on December 6, 2001. This will be paid from account 24301-2501-480301.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Under EMA, accept Law Aviation $7,738.79 offer to settlement and authorize the county to enter into a full release of all claims. This was due to an airplane crash in 2003 in a New Russia Township field, and county hazmat squad responded and incurred the cleanup cost by containing the spill of the jet fuel.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Question, Mr. Cortez, do you know what the original amount of this was? This is a settlement of $77,700. I tried to get a hold of Tom Kelly yesterday. I wasn't able to reach him.
I believe
the
it's,
paperwork showed.
right, I believe it was a full recovery, but we can check, and if need be, we have an executive, why don't we just make some calls and we can come back out?
Okay.
And do that if you like, if that's the board's pleasure.
Sure, that would be great.
It says that was all that they incurred.
It was?
Yeah. Through the
See that.
Do you want me to take the roll?
I'm sorry, I just didn't remember. I thought it was full recovery.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, great.
Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Are you Ms. Kukowski?
No.
He's trying to hurry us along a little bit.
Under the engineer, authorize Northridge Road to be closed to one-way traffic during Lorain County Metropolitan Park District Pioneer Festival Days, which is September 10th and 11th, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. to ensure the public safety.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Revise permanent county maintenance on the Mantle Creek Estates and Brownhelm Creek Ditch, Eaton Township, and reduce the maintenance rates for property owners performing their own maintenance for the 2005 tax duplicate collectible for the year 2006. One is Paul R. and Jolyn E. Angersbach from $103.97 to $51.99, and Dale L. Osborne from $15 to $7.50.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Under the Sheriff, approve and enter in two maintenance agreements with Siemens Building Technologies effective retroactive to June 1st, 2005 through May 31st, 2008 to be paid from account 15101-2301-450101 contract services. For the fire alarm contract at a cost of $14,885 for the first year, $15,336 for the second, and $15,804 for the third. And the HVAC contract at a cost of $26,019 for the first year, $26,796 for the second, and $27,600 for the third.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Cortez, County Administrator?
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. I have a couple issues this morning. Some are pleasing, some are not. We took bids for our new parking lot, Phase 4A of the Justice Center. Unfortunately, we weren't able to gain enough acceptable bids, and we need to go back out to bid. We're revising the terminology in the bid package a bit, but this time of year, paving companies that do that kind of work are a little bit in short supply. Even the smaller ones are subbed out doing road projects. There's a lot of bread and butter money in those road projects, and while our project is quite large to us, it's not significant to them. And we had a bid on the electrical end that we'd like to hold and go out and rebid other portions of the project. I'm going to pass this notice to bidder to you, and I'm going to request that we immediately re-advertise. I still believe we can have the project done by year end if we get back to market, and we're going to work on getting people engaged in the bidding process a little bit more aggressively than we did the last time. I'm glad to see that sometimes there's a plus side to this. This means that our companies are working out there. But I'm discouraged because I really wanted to get that parking situation moving, and if we don't move rapidly, we'll lose another season with the winter coming. So I would ask that you would support re-advertising for bids on that.
Do we need a motion?
Yes, you do, Commissioner.
Questions? Also move.
Second.
Further discussion? Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
The specifics for when the notice needs to be published, et cetera.
As everybody's becoming aware, we're having additional parking issues because we're having work done on the parking deck. I have been scouring the downtown area looking for, a cubby hole here and there to put some more cars in. And I want to tell you that your employees, while a little bit upset, and they've settled down, have willingly taken the bite on this parking issue. We've moved most of them. We're going to be moving about 40 of our employees out of the Commissioner's office, out of the parking deck on Monday, relocating fleet vehicles to 911 and having people pick vehicles up there and tightening our belt down the garage to the breaking point to try to accommodate those repairs in the garage. I have a proposal here from KCM Enterprises, and we already rent spaces off them, and they're offering to rent us an additional 15 spaces for the next 3 or 4 months at the same price we pay now, which is $15 per month. Karen, that lane's on Barris. Is that Barris Lane? Barris Lane. I think we've got enough where we can do the work. I just don't have any fudge left. It's really tight. So I think that we should rent these spaces for the next 3 or 4 months, and I'll try to relocate a couple of our employees a little closer to the building so that it'll give them the option. And after that time frame, hopefully we can terminate that contract. We won't need them when the garage is done. But I need the board's support to continue to work on our parking issue. And I apologize for that, but it is what it is.
Well, this is going to be ongoing the next 3 or 4 years, isn't it, Jim?
Well, ongoing maintenance in the garage will be 3 or 4 years. I think that we may be able to knock down most of these expansion joints. Now, we're doing all the expansion joints on the top part of the deck. There may be some in the lower ends that we want to look at later on, but I don't think it'll be this extensive. The cost will be there because there's other things we need to do in the garage. But I'm hopeful that maybe we're making a sweep and we'll only have to dislocate 16 or 20 spots if we do any additional work in coming years. Is that yes, no, guys?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That doesn't mean that we don't need money to do other structural issues. Obviously, we have waterproofing and we have some rebar exposed, and it's going to be a couple $100,000 a year. But I'm more concerned with dislocating the whole top of the fourth deck, and we were able to get a cooperative agreement with the company, and they worked cooperatively with us. And we're going to shift parking on the top deck. We're going to restripe some of those with some temporary striping.
No.
We changed that plan too.
No.
We found it wasn't necessary because the contractor is going to provide a drive lane
You're going to do the
for us
drive lane?
exit out of without needing additional parking spaces.
Without changing the line striping.
So we're going to still close one half of the top and then do the drive lane on the other side?
Right.
That's good. I didn't want to put that temporary striping down. That's good. I'm glad that we reached a solution on that too. Great. Good job.
Okay.
All right.
What is your pleasure regarding the additional parking spaces?
We need them.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
Second.
Further discussion? Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Commissioners, we extended the one-stop contract 30 days ago, and we've been working with the Workforce Institute and the one-stop, and Vivian's been working diligently along with them. We were able to ratchet down about $33,000 worth of costs so far, which is encouraging. That's more money going to consumers that need services. I've also been in dialogue with members of the Workforce Institute, and as last night they told me that they had a big meeting and they're staying fully engaged, and they believe that they can extract some additional cost savings from the contract, and they want to meet with us and stay engaged for the next 90 to 120 days and work out some issues in the contract. I'm encouraged by their support. It's the first time in a long time we've had a very aggressive partnership with the Workforce Institute and that level of involvement. With that said, and given some of the savings already that they've put into the contract, I would like to award that contract for the coming year to the one-stop, and with the caveat that we continue to stay engaged and work aggressively on maximizing the amount of dollars that actually go to the consumers at the end point. So I would ask for a resolution to do that.
I thought we already did that. What did I miss?
30-day extension we did, Commissioner.
That's all?
Yes.
Okay. You have paperwork?
The contract is in my office. I have a memo on the cost, some of the cost savings already from Vivian.
Okay.
And I'll forward the contract. It's a standard contract we've done for years. It's usually we just dicker a little bit about where the dollars are.
Administrative is at what percent?
Well, that's one of the things we're dickering on. It depends on who looks at what's administrative. And we've been in touch with the state. The state finally came back with an extensive letter and indicated us that there was some inconsistencies in the way the job descriptions were written, and we need to go back and work on those. And they're not able to really fully determine what's administrative, what's program. And so they basically left it up to us to correct those deficiencies down here. I believe the Workforce Institute and the One Stop will aggressively work with us on correcting those things, and we can have a clearer picture over the next several months of what we're doing. It's been a good partnership with them, and now that we're more fully engaged, I think that we're going to continue to get good outcomes. They've done a good job, and we're going to continue to watch the cost, so we're going to do even a better job.
I've discussed with some of the board members also the change in roles over the years when it first came out to where it's at now, so that's got some of the discrepancies on where the accountability comes in, so they're still working on that, and the board members seem willing to work at it.
I agree, Commissioner.
Do you want a year contract? Do you want 6 months?
It would be until June 30th.
I'm sorry?
It would be until June 30th of 2006.
Can we vote on this next week after we have a chance to look at that contract?
The contract expires, 30-day extension expires the 30th of this month, or 30, whatever.
I believe so.
If you want to hold, we're going to go.
Let's hold until after our
Okay.
executive session.
That's fine.
My question again was, do we want a year or do we want 6 months?
I'm comfortable recommending you to that we finish out the year. We have state dollars which come down from the Fed into the state and then down to us to Job and Family Services. I think we need to award for the whole year. Even if we weren't gaining their cooperation, I would not recommend that we go a mid-year change on any of this. This would be something that we would do an RFP or look to moving certain portions of it into all of WDA. It's not something that can be done, I think, mid-year. And there's just too many complicated factors that come into it with the mandatory partners. So I would again recommend that we go to June 30th. I'll get the contract off my desk. I was going to bring it with me, but it's buried in one of those stacks. And, I will find it and bring it in. After we get it done with exec, maybe we can come out and take a look at it. I would appreciate that support.
Okay. That's it?
No, one last comment.
We're having our executive session in here today.
Well, I didn't get to have the Frisbee fun last night.
Whose fault was that?
All right. I walked in the March of Dimes.
Hey, you know what?
Easter
Choices.
seals. You walked in Easter
It's
seals
Not
Saturday.
March of Dimes, Easter
Life
seals.
is about
Thank you.
choices, okay?
If recently has been brought to my attention that the APL now has a recording on their after-hours message that says, if you have a stray dog, take it over to the sheriff's department and basically tie it to the door out there. These guys, I'll tell you what, I'm just about fed up with them. No, I am fed up with them, not just about. Commissioners, our practice and our procedure that's been there for about 10 years and it's worked well, and the Sheriff's Department has supported us for years, is that if there's an after-hour problem with a dog and the dog is astray or running at large, you contact the Sheriff's Department and they'll evaluate the situation. If they determine it's necessary, they will dispatch a warden to deal with the problem. We have been doing this for 10 years very successfully. And now that we have Elyria, the EPD knows to call into the Sheriff's Department. They work cooperatively together. And when we back up Lorain, when their warden is unavailable, Lorain LPD, they know to call up the Sheriff's Department and work with the dispatchers there. I have no idea what those people think they're doing out at the APL by confusing the public. The realization is these procedures are there, and they work, and we're going to continue those practices and procedures. So if you hear anything about this, well, just for the general information of the public that may tune into the world's funniest political videos here, that is working. So please support us. With that, I thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Mr. Cortez.
Mr. Ennis, Assistant Investigator.
I need a short executive session to hopefully wrap up a matter of pending litigation.
Thank you, Jerry. Commissioner Laurie?
No report today.
Commissioner Ted?
Quiet week this week, Commissioner.
Oh. Well, I was opening my mail and I got this announcement from Cleveland State University. It says Dr. Ned Hill has been appointed as Cleveland State's first Vice President for Economic Development. Ned Hill has been a speaker at our Lorain County Community Alliance Summits. He's quite well known in the area, and I thought that was kind of neat. He's a very, very interesting gentleman, and he has children living in Lorain County, I think, so we have a tie with him. So I'd just like to congratulate Dr. Hill. And that's my to-do for today. So we keep on schedule, Teresa.
Okay. Under the clerk's report, just to let you know that the petition was submitted by the Hat Creek Company, Inc., requesting to vacate an existing road right-of-way. Said road right-of-way is being Quarry Road, the unimproved portion, original Columbia Township Lot 39. This has been referred to the engineer for review, and all utility companies have been notified.
Okay.
Board correspondence?
I move the reading be waived.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Dan Billman is here, and I guess if for the viewing public, they might just view this on Saturday. You want to give your computer recycling a plug before David gets to speak?
Dan Billman, Solid Waste Director for the county. Thank you, Commissioners. Good morning. The Computer Recycling Day that we hold annually is going to be this Saturday. It's going to be 8:30 to 2:30 in the afternoon. We would like to have everybody that has excess equipment and cell phones to be sure to bring them out to us. We'll have ample people to lift the stuff out of your car or your truck. So if you want to load the car down, load it down. We will take it back out for you. So again, thank you, Commissioners, for having this program again this year. It certainly helps the residents of this county dispose of their electronics. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
I'm sorry, before we go further, I did need a motion on the petition request for the vacation.
You did?
Yeah, receive it.
Receive and journalize?
Yeah.
Okay, that was under the clerk's report?
Yeah.
The Hat Creek Company?
Yes.
Yes.
Say one other thing.
Well, if you say it quick.
The collection is going to be on Turners Boulevard at Altels in Elyria.
Yes.
Okay. I was reminded very nicely by these young ladies up front here.
Well, see, hey, at least they know where we're supposed to go. Thank you, that's important. Thank you, ladies. Under the clerk's report, item H1, the petition submitted by the hat company. Since it's a hat company, I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. McCoskey?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla? Thank you.
Now, David, public comment.
Commissioners, very briefly, I didn't think I'd have to be here, but the Community Alliance is meeting before people who see this tonight would see you again. So a week from tomorrow, Lorain County Community Alliance meets for its annual Black River Day program at the Black River Landing, I think at 9 o'clock on Friday. And I've seen the agenda for that, but I also think there may be a slight amendment to it because there is a new Black River watershed coordinator in the House, although not here today. I met her last night in an advisory committee meeting. Her name is Kate Hoffman, and she's from Avon Lake. She went downstate to school, and she's had a whole lot of experience in planning and environmental planning and stuff like that, and I think that's a real good addition to Ron Twining's shop, and I assume she will be part of the discussion there as well as the regular program.
I hope so, and thank you for coming and tell us what we're doing. I love it.
Thanks.
Captain Resendez.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Richard Resendez, Lorain County Sheriff's Office. I just want to take this opportunity to announce, and we've been doing this for the last 2 years, so this will be our third annual. The Sheriff is sponsoring the Citizens Academy. We run it for about 8 weeks, and it's starting on September 6th, which is a Tuesday. Applications are available. They're available online at our website at www.loraincountysheriff.com. It's a printable application. Just print it out, fill it out, and mail it back to me. And just a few highlights of what we try to do, our goal for the Citizens Academy. We provide training, firearms training, some felony vehicle stops, some building searches, and DUI goggles, which we have. And we're just trying to give an insight on what we do out at the Sheriff's Office. I invite the commissioners, I invite all county officials, I invite the citizens to take part in this. It's a lot of fun. When we surveyed our last students for the last 2 classes, they all had a good time. And the sheriff does some training, I do some training, we have some corrections training. But it is a good time, and I encourage everybody to partake. It runs for 8 weeks. Starts on a Tuesday, and then we're going to switch it to Wednesdays. It's about 2.5 hours every night. So applications are limited, and I encourage everybody to take part, fill it out, and send it back to me. Thank you.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Oh, it is. It is. Thank you.
I think you got your first applicant down there at the end.
I hope so.
Jerry.
Trustee Jim Wright. Morning.
Good morning. Jim Wright, Carlisle Township trustee. There's already several hundred petitions being circulated in Carlisle Township in regards to the proposed JED. And no JED signs are beginning to pop up around the township. And as a trustee, we're faced with people coming in at the meetings and filling up the town hall in regards to the JED. And I got some questions for the commissioners. What can I tell the business owners and their employees as to why they would want to pay a 1 3/4% city income tax for the minimal benefits that they're going to get out of this? Can you guys give me any input on that?
There are probably several of us who could answer. We take our choice and each have a stab at it. Mr. Cordez?
Well, I was going to suggest the JEDs between Elyria and the township,
that's
but I'm
what I
not
was-
sure why the commissioners are being parlayed on that.
We're not involved in that JED agreement whatsoever.
At the end of the day, you may bless off on some cooperative relationship if you see fit, but this is a local jurisdiction issue between Elyria and the residents and the trustees in Carlisle, and I think it's inappropriate to put the board on the spot to support or not support at this point, and I would suggest that you don't answer those questions.
Mr. Ennis?
I would just concur with Mr. Cordez. The commissioner's involvement in this is that there's a pending annexation in front of us. It was both the parties to that annexation, well, actually all three, the city, the township, and the petitioners, made a request to the commissioners that that annexation be continued so that they could attempt to negotiate that agreement. Although some JED agreements can involve the commissioners as a party, this one does not, and the commissioners have no involvement whatsoever in it. When and if it is submitted to the commissioners, they do not make a merit determination on whether the JED is good or bad for the community. That is totally a local issue for the local community. All they will decide is whether, much like, well, not even to the extent that they do an annexation, they will just look at the proposal when it comes to them and make a determination whether the requirements of statute have been met for submitting it, and then they will make a, and if they are, then they have to submit it to the voters. So the commissioners have nothing to do with making a merit decision as to whether it is good or bad. That is totally up to the Board of Trustees and the City of Elyria and first, and those two entities in deciding whether or not to propose a contract, and this situation will, if it is agreed by those two entities, will be put up to a vote of the residents of Carlisle Township. So the commissioners have nothing to do with that, and since they may be involved with the annexation issue and do have to make a decision there, I agree with Mr. Cordez. It would be inappropriate for them to make public statements indicating how they would perceive that issue.
Well, that being said, then, with Betty, with you being a Carlisle resident, would it be fair to ask you if you think this is a good idea for Carlisle?
Well, let me just say that I first came to the Board of Trustees back in March or April and suggested that they form a JED. I thought it would be a good alternate to the annexation petition that's before the Board of Commissioners. Having said that, I think that the JED issue ought to be voted upon by the residents of Carlisle Township. That's my position.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? If not, it's 10:15.
Yep. There's a first public hearing on the building code amendment.
At 11. At 11.
10:15.
Says 10, 11 on here.
11 is the investment advisory.
Oh, I see.
Separate of this board meeting. So I guess, Rebecca?
Public hearing, do we?
I have nothing else.
No, it's 10:15.
Well, we're going to go into executive session anyway, so
No, we don't have to.
just kind of stick around.
This is the first hearing, August.
Jerry, good morning. Was my answer appropriate?
Rebecca Jones, Lorain County Community Development Department. This is going to be a rather brief public hearing, but we wanted to let the public know that the Lorain County Board of Commissioners did adopt the Lorain County Building Codes on April 3rd, 2003 by resolution. Included in the adoption of those building codes was the adoption of the 1999 OBOA codes, which is the Ohio Building Officials Association codes for 1, 2, and 3 family residential properties. Since that time, the Ohio Building Officials Association has come out with the 2004 OBOA codes, and the 2004 OBOA codes have been adopted by most cities and villages within Lorain County. And in order for the Lorain County building codes to be consistent with the other communities within Lorain County, we are suggesting that the county commissioners now amend their building code resolution to adopt the 2004 ABOA codes. Those are the 1, 2, and 3 family residential codes. This will not essentially change any of the other work that we're doing. It simply is updating from 1999 to 2004 the building codes that we'll be following. Those, of course, are taking into consideration some of the more modern methods and materials that are currently being used in the building trades. And so having said that, if there are any questions, I'd certainly be more than happy to answer them.
Do we have any questions from the commissioners? Are there any questions from the audience?
I do have one question. Is it changing any of the street fee structures, or is it just the
No, it is not. The
code?
fee structure will remain the same.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions from the audience?
August 4th, next Thursday at 10:15.
Thank you, Teresa.
Could you repeat the question?
I'm sorry.
She asked when the next
question,
hearing was.
When the next hearing was. It's August 4th.
Any other questions or comments? This is to bring us into a more updated fashion, correct?
Yes, it is. And because communities surrounding us are using the 2004, there's a little inconsistency with contractors when they're building in Avon and then come out and build something in Columbia Township. There's just some slight differences in types of materials that can be used, things of that nature. So this is just to keep us all on the same page.
And we want to be current.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll move for approval.
No.
No.
Just
a hearing.
Two hearings.
We have to have one more public hearing,
Close the
Commissioner.
hearing.
I'm sorry. We're just going to close this hearing. We're not closing our meeting. I'm sorry. Okay, I move we close this public hearing.
Second.
Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kukowski?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Rebecca. All right, now we're done with
Any executive session or whatever you
our current business. I'll move for executive session for the purposes outlined.
And I'll second.
Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Kukowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Okay.
Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Thursday mornings at 9:30 at the Lorain County Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings, and as always, you are invited to attend.